Hi guys, and welcome to the Central Youth Project podcast. I'm here with Patrick, Christian, Leeam, and Dan, and I'm Max. And we're going to go ahead and start with our podcast for the notes for rescue on Proverbs 2:10 through 22. We're going to start for our first icebreaker. Number 1, is Sunday the beginning of the week or Monday?
Monday.
Shut up.
Sunday is like the end of the weekend.
Talking to the mic.
Yeah, kind of actually.
Yeah. Sunday, like
That's what it, that's what it feels like. But on a calendar, Sunday is obviously the beginning of the week.
That is true. But like to me, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday.
Yeah,
because Monday you start everything that you're gonna do for the week.
Yes.
But Sunday you're finishing it. So like if you're doing school still, you finish that up. But you're not. It's just like everything that you might have had from your previous week might still be going on Sunday. But on Monday, it changes.
I just follow the school schedule, so I think Monday's the first day of the week. Just because that's when they post all the modules and stuff for your next week's homework.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
You guys are nuts. The calendar says it's on Sunday.
It doesn't matter to me.
Literally everyone says it's on Sunday. There's no Monday is the second day of the week.
I've seen calendars though where it says Sundays at the end of the week.
Oh.
And so it's
There's special calendars.
That's the problem. It's special. Like I might think that it's on Wednesdays, and there's probably a calendar where it starts on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Does not mean that that's right.
Doesn't mean that it's wrong.
It's like, yeah. I think it's meaning, like to you personally, because it's a fact that Sunday is the first day of the week. But
Is it a fact though?
Ooh.
Is it a fact though?
Hey, hold on a second.
It's getting
Fired.
very
I think it's
getting very
Monday.
tense in this hot tiny room.
Okay, it's Sunday on a calendar, but for me, the beginning of all my work week is Monday.
Yeah.
What about you, Liam?
Friday.
Oh, what?
Friday's the beginning of your
Who
week?
does that?
Friday is the beginning of my
Dude,
week.
imagine
yeah.
beginning your week on Friday.
Wednesday, Thursday is the end of my week. Because
Got
I
the
work
weirdest
Friday,
weekend.
Saturday, Sunday, kind of,
Yeah.
and Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, I save for school, but it's also kind of my weekend because I'm at home.
Gotcha. That makes
So.
sense.
Did you spill something else on your pants?
Yes.
Okay, anyway. Icebreaker number 2. Is there an app that you hate / annoys you, but you still use it anyways?
Geometry Dash.
Alright!
That was so fast.
Just immediately knew the answer to that one. Mine's Facebook. It's
Liam's
so
checking
annoying.
his phone.
But I still use it all the time. But still, the amount of arguments that happen on Facebook, and you're
Yeah.
sitting there like, this is the most petty argument.
Can I say
Is
my
it pronounced GIF or GIF? It's GIF, obviously.
Can I use my text messaging app? Is that a thing?
Why?
I mean,
But
yeah.
why?
Because it annoys me and I hate it sometimes, but I have to have it.
That's exactly what.
I feel like that's
That's
fair.
That's my email. My email.
Oh my
I
goodness.
hate looking at my school email. It's the most annoying thing ever. Do you have one?
All the apps that I hate, I normally like delete or try to.
They're not gonna hear you.
I thought we had the sensitivity to it.
No, we do, but you still need to talk to the mic. It's still a
What I
microphone.
hate about my
It's not a counseling session.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing that I really. There's no apps that I dislike, I would say, except for maybe Canvas, because college and stuff, and that's where you
Dude.
check grades.
Canvas is awful.
Yes.
Maybe Zoom, because I hate
Oh.
Zoom.
I don't have an app for
I
Zoom.
hate Zoom.
And that
I
means
just
I'm
have
going
an
to
app for
class.
Canvas, and that's. I mean, I do most of my Canvas work on a computer, but sometimes in a pinch, I check my Canvas grades on my iPad. So
Yeah.
I know I'm tech savvy.
So Liam's been searching for 3 minutes now.
I don't have one.
You're not on your phone very much, though, are you?
No.
Liam is efficient with his
You
app
gotta-
usage.
I use all my apps the way I use them.
What about on your computer?
A video game that you hate, but you still do.
Or it
Like
annoys
Geometry
you?
Dash that was said in 0.5 seconds after the question was asked.
Dude, Geometry Dash is That's like the worst rage game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, except for getting over it.
You have to get every single jump right, otherwise you have to start everything over.
All right, come on, Liam.
Anyway. No.
You don't have one at all?
No. I don't keep things I don't.
You don't tolerate it?
No.
That's not logically accurate. Liam would never make an inaccurate decision like that.
Yeah. So
Alright, icebreaker number 3. If you were given $10 to buy food to cook for your family tonight, what would you make?
chili spaghetti.
Cup of noodles.
Wait, can you actually?
Well, you could buy the ingredients for like 10 bucks.
Yeah.
You probably could. Just make like a bean chili. Like it'd be like bean, tomatoes, tomato paste.
Or you could just get the can. They sell for like
It's just
less
Here-
than $1.
Ew.
spaghetti noodles. Excuse you. Chili.
Here is how you make free tomato soup. You go to McDonald's.
What?
You get.
I don't
You
like
go.
that.
You get a bunch of ketchup packets and a paper cup. Okay. Then you go into the McDonald's bathroom, turn on the hot water, fill the cup with hot water, and then dump the ketchup
That
packets
sounds
in.
disgusting.
Doesn't it need like garlic or something?
No, that's tomato soup a la Christian.
No,
It's a specialty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's on the McDonald's hidden menu.
So apparently, my dad. Okay, so my dad used to live in Eastern Washington in Colville, and the homeless people in Colville would make tomato soup when there was nothing to eat in winter.
Lovely.
With
So-
ketchup. Nice. I like it. I can see it. All right, $10. You guys got to make dinner. What are you making?
Chili mac. It's easy. Just
Yeah,
mac and
dude.
cheese and chili.
The canned
Cheap.
chili, because that's
Yeah.
the best
Canned
chili.
Sorry, did you say something?
Dan.
I would.
Uh,
I have no idea what that would make. Peanut butter jelly. For dinner.
That works.
It does work.
Yeah, it is. Ramen. Gonna go for the most cost effective.
I know you gave me $10.
Just like-
All I need is 2.
That's it.
Just $2
What'd you get?
pays for ramen for like a whole family. So you just get like 50 gallons of ramen for $10, and there you go.
You eat for 2 years.
There's some math that's wrong there.
It sounded very accurate to me.
Oh my gosh.
So
Liam, what are you
accurate.
making?
Pizza.
That's a good idea.
Dude.
Papa Mar-
Homemade dough.
Papa Murphy.
Papa Murphy's.
Yeah.
Don't you love Papa Murphy's?
Homemade dough,
Papa
tomato
Arby's.
sauce, and cheese.
Nice.
Makes a great pizza.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
All right.
Beautiful.
Let's start with the discussion. Discussion number 1. Have you ever experienced wisdom that was pleasant to your soul? Are there times where you wish you had? Story time.
Oh.
That was a more fun way of saying explain.
We want an essay, and we want it
No,
turned
please,
into
no.
a speech.
No.
You have to talk for 15 minutes at least.
No.
No, thank you. Okay.
Are you rejecting the question?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Probably the first time I talked to Dan. Like, remember that one time that I went to the church? I was just like sobbing the whole time.
Wow. Just outed yourself there, man.
I wasn't there.
That was
so.
Was that the one where you went into my office? I had the small office with the glass sliding doors.
And it was almost like a therapist thing because I was facing the wall and I had to look over.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
because I had that small office and so like it was like
Yeah.
my desk and the chair was right here, so you were literally facing a wall. It was like 4 feet from you.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was a great first interaction.
Oh, yeah.
my gosh.
But yeah, that was probably really like the best wisdom I've gotten because I was really nervous about college and I was like doubting my abilities and everything. And then I texted him and I was like, man, life's going to crap. Dude. And he's like, meet me at the church in 20. And then
That
Check
sounds
it
very
out.
creepy.
then we talked for a while and
Mhm.
I left and I was like the most relieved I think I've ever felt in my entire life. Like,
Ah.
it felt like I was walking on air.
Dan, you did a good job.
I didn't know any of this.
This is news to me.
If you felt like you were walking on air, you might have
Died?
had to watch where you were walking better.
Yeah.
Because if you like fell off a bridge or something, I mean, you were walking on air, kind of.
Anyways.
True.
No, that's really cool though, Patrick.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anybody else?
Anybody? I'm in the bathroom stall. Don't worry about it.
Whoa.
I can't think of any specific point where it's like, wow, that was really nice. I got some wisdom.
My grandpa slapped me down on his knees like, listen.
But just learning through the years has made me appreciate it and realize how good it is for me. So I guess that's pleasant to my soul.
Mm. Mikalah's doing a think.
I can't really think of an actual experience either, but I know I've had some. I just don't remember a specific one. But it's definitely, it made me feel a lot happier in the long run. Old Spice.
Our sponsor again.
Can we actually get in trouble for that?
No.
No.
Okay. Because, like, copyright and stuff.
No.
Anybody else? Alright, I'm just gonna go on to the next question.
Christian?
Or do you
No,
have one?
not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that I remember, anyways. I'm sure there were times, but I don't remember them at this moment.
Yeah. I wouldn't know either.
None that were influential enough to be like, that's the time.
Yeah. That one right
That
there.
one right there.
Oh, that was nice.
Alright, what does spiritual joy subdue sin mean? How does that apply in your life?
I think it's like, you're so happy that you grew spiritually, I guess, that you're distracted from sin, I guess. Or like, you've learned that you were sinning, and you've learned how to not sin, I guess.
Yeah.
I think. Wait, what? Do you want to go first?
You can go.
In my own life, at least, there's been times where I've had like so much spiritual joy that it makes it really easy to just block things like sin out of my brain because I'm so joyful spiritually that I don't really have a problem. Like, it's a lot easier not to sin.
Yeah.
You're so joyful in the spirit.
Yeah. It's like, it's so fulfilling that you wouldn't want to go back.
Yeah.
Because, like, the sin, it's like,
Yeah,
just
it's
pretty
so
much hollow
fulfilling. There's
promises.
no temptation.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Anybody else got
Anything
anything?
else to unpack on that one?
No.
Alright, wisdom protects us from wicked men and those with perverse speech. What does that mean? What does that look like in your life?
I think those that are trying to tempt to do bad things, like doing drugs and stuff,
Yeah. Chess.
which is a
What?
Continue.
Oh.
But
No!
life
Like a
is like
nervous twitch.
Oh my
Patrick
gosh.
just sitting in the corner getting more nervous by this, like, yes!
Continue.
Just randomly. Oh, man.
Where was I? Something drugs. Anyway,
Drugs.
I know that's a
Head slap.
cliche thing, but
What's a cliche?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what a cliche is.
It's like, oh, that happens, of course, that always happens kind of thing. But, like, it doesn't actually happen.
What?
So,
That was very descriptive.
You keep talking while I look it up.
I've heard the term, like, a lot, but I don't actually know what it means.
Let me see. Let's see what the actual translation. Hello.
It's like finding a chest behind a waterfall.
I thought you.
A
Patrick?
chest.
It's like it's supposed to be unexpected, but you always expect it. Kinda. Chest.
Chest.
A chest.
What we were talking about
Let's get the
wisdom
definition
protects us
in here.
from the wicked men. Let's stay on that while I
you
look this
behind
up.
the waterfall.
And my
You
phone's
look
on.
behind a waterfall and there's like a treasure
You're so
chest.
off
Yeah, sure.
course.
Like they're supposed to be when it's a cliche. Anyway,
Okay, whatever.
I don't think telling him it's supposed to be a cliche helps anything.
Okay.
it's such a cliche
A
to
phrase
use that
or
as a cliche.
opinion- A phrase or opinion that is overused or portrays a lack of original thought.
Oh, okay.
A stereotype or electrotype.
So it's like how there's an Easter bunny, but a bunny has nothing to do with Easter.
Sure.
Yes, okay.
It's like
This is like the candy
This is
illustration.
way off. All right. Anyways, let's get back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
drugs.
No.
We're not talking about drugs.
Yes.
I'm trying so hard to get us back on track, and you guys are refusing.
Just go with the flow.
I can't.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but Dan is banging his head on the table over there.
What question are we on?
This one.
Okay. Yeah.
Ah.
So, are you still talking, Liam, or should I take over?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I can't think anymore. We should just start over. Kill it. Burn house fire.
Wisdom helps us to see through lies, like speech that might try to trick us and think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But in fact, it's not, and it helps us to see through that sort of thing.
And it helps us, like, prevent something from happening by, like, seeing that, oh, it's going that direction. I should back out now before you get stuck in something.
Mm-hmm.
Like ads that have viruses.
Yeah. As long as you have
Oh.
wisdom.
Yeah.
That's a good
That was some
attitude.
IT wisdom right there.
Alright, should I just keep going so we don't get off
feeling
track
kinda
again?
Stereotyped right
Are you being cliched currently?
Being cliched.
Hey, passing on wisdom. We talked about that question the other week. That's how you're gonna pass off wisdom to your kids. You'd be like,
IT?
be like, son. You know when you click on an ad and it has a virus, sends a lot like that.
Just like
And once
talking.
it starts, it
Be
just
like,
gets worse.
what?
You gotta wipe your whole computer.
No one will know what you're talking about, but your kid will be like, yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh man.
Dude, I have that problem all the time.
Alright.
Oh,
everyone
fun
else
question.
just hears you like saying a bunch of like ones and zeros, and your kid's like, oh, whoa.
Okay, discussion number
Jesus.
2.
Okay, moving on to discussion number 2.
The adulteress talks with flattering speech. Where in culture do you see immorality and lust imposing themselves onto teens, both boys and girls? How can we fight back? And how can we defend ourselves?
Is that your answer?
It's everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's hard to pick one thing out.
I have no idea.
And
That
since
affects both boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, sexual immorality is a big thing, like among guys. I don't know about girls though.
Yeah, just don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna.
We're
I'm
here
not
worrying
gonna-
Don't worry about it, okay? The girls got this.
Are you stereotyping me?
No, it's a cliche.
Anyways, this is a hard question.
So pick one area of culture
Culture.
Politics.
that you see.
What?
No. Calm down. Where you see immorality and lust imposing themselves onto teens,
Immorality and or?
or.
Okay.
It's both and.
So and.
Or.
Okay.
I think just the basic concept that everybody thinks that sex is going to bring you happiness.
Yeah.
Especially like out of marriage, like it's not going to bring anything. Usually just brings a lot of heartbreak. And I think that's maybe one of the biggest things, and I think a way we can fight back and defend ourselves is to tell people and try our best to let them know, like, hey, it's not going to work the way you think it is, and remember ourselves that it's never worth it.
Yeah. Why is everybody looking at me? Well, you're like just bobbing your head over there.
Anybody else got anything?
Okay, I'll poke the bear here, and I'll give an option, and then you guys can answer the second two questions.
Oh, great.
So I will give you an option, and then you will answer how can we fight back and how can we defend ourselves. So,
Okay.
culture is imposing immorality and lust onto teens through entertainment.
So, like, if you see something, or not even see something, just like if you hear or see something that provokes any thoughts, it's best to just shut it off and don't think about it and try and tear all those thoughts down, because they might send you down a rabbit hole.
They will send you down a rabbit hole if you're not careful.
Yeah, well,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
What about sexually perverse characters in video games?
it's one of those.
Did you have an opinion on that, Mikalah?
There's just a lot of video games that portray women as basically objects.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we fight back? How can we defend ourselves?
1-star review on Yelp.
Brilliant. Let's do this.
Single-handedly take it down.
I think just educating people on like what's, I guess right and wrong isn't the right term, because there's a lot of debate on what's right and what's wrong, but educating people on what's immoral or not. I guess even that would be really debatable, because not everyone is Christian, so I don't know.
Yeah, if you go into a debate about morals, though, then you have to talk about absolute morals, and those are only found in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where you get into a point where it doesn't matter really if something's Christian or not. The truth is still the truth at the end of the day. So whether or not you believe that having sex with your girlfriend before marriage is a negative or not, the consequences of that will prove fruitful to what God has communicated. So, how else can you fight back? Sexually charged video games.
Don't play them.
That's an idea.
Yeah. Like I said, just shut it off before.
Don't play them. Leave
Yeah.
bad reviews.
We got a game plan. Alright, I like it. Alright, let's see what else. What about ads on YouTube?
Well, we don't
We
have
don't
that
have
problem
ads.
because we don't have ads.
Yeah, Dan.
Buy a
Checkmate.
premium account.
Spend money, guys.
Spend money.
That's how you get
No
away from
temptation,
sin.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Although ads go off what you look at, so maybe you shouldn't look at certain things.
That's true.
Well, it's like, it's not just like sexually immoral ads. It's like a lot of things are like Reese's ads. That's a form of temptation, but it's not like something you search up on the internet. It's just a Reese's ad.
Well, I mean,
Like
someone
everyone gets those.
could
It's-
look up Reese's.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How dare you? A pastor.
Alright. You can move on to the next discussion.
Okay.
Thank the Lord.
Alright. Says read 1 Peter 2:11, which I have here, and I'll read it in a sec. Fleshly lusts wage war against our souls. Have you read this before? Does this make you look differently at the smaller, less temptations of life? Now, 1 Peter 2:11 says, "Beloved, I urge you as a sojourner and exiles to abstain from the passions of the flesh which wage war against your soul."
Can you read that again? I was
Yes.
zoning out.
"Beloved, I urge you as sojourners and exiles to abstain from the passions of the flesh which wage war against your soul." So, it says, "Fleshly lusts wage war against our souls." Have you read this before? And does this make you look differently at the smaller lust temptations in life?
I don't think I've read that before, and it does make me look differently at the smaller temptations, because it's a bigger battle.
The smallest things
And
lead to the biggest things.
It's a bigger war, and winning the smaller battles is putting yourself on the right track to win the war.
Yeah.
I haven't ever read those exact words before, but yes, I have read things to that point. But when I read it, it did make me look differently at smaller temptations in life, because smaller, less temptations in life, because I guess it just I don't know. It was like I knew how to handle those thoughts. I've had those thoughts before, but I knew how to handle them, so I just needed to put them out of my mind and shut them down before it got to a bigger problem.
So you were kind of understanding where it was going to go and
Yeah,
decided to fix
exactly.
it before anything happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't read that before, but I've kind of gotten the general gist of it from other people. I mean, it might make me look differently at the smaller, less temptations in life, but I kind of already thought of it almost like once one thing starts, it's easy to move on to the next thing, and then the next thing, and then it just festers, and then it's there, and you gotta get it out. But the only way you can do that is by start winning the small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess it does make me look differently at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
My
hot in
answer's
here.
pretty much the same as theirs, so.
Yeah, there's not many ways you can
Yeah.
change that up.
It definitely makes you
Unless there is.
really look at it.
Dan knows. Dan the dictionary.
What?
Whoa. Oh, dang it.
No, there's a
no.
fly in here.
It's the same one too.
It's
Is
the
it
same
from our
one.
house?
No.
Alright. Anyways.
The same one from your house. It like followed you through the parking lot.
Okay. Anyways, explain the garden weeds analogy and what that means for those in your group, yourself, and those listening.
Don't put off nipping everything in the bud while it's still easy, because it'll come back and it'll bite you in the butt. That laziness, it doesn't work, and you gotta do it while it's still easy. Because if you wait to get those weeds, they grow further and bigger and larger, and they're 100 times harder to get out. So if you don't be lazy.
It's going great, man.
If you don't put it off, it makes things a lot
Speed.
easier for... You gotta be active and
Definitely.
always trying to diffuse everything possible as much as possible before it turns into a real issue.
That's good.
Yeah.
Breathe, man.
Chest.
I think for everybody in general, that just means most of our temptations or things we start is if you start doing it and you don't take care of it when you first notice it, it's just going to make it worse and harder to deal with as it goes on.
I think what a lot of people struggle with is that kind of thing starts up before they realize it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Or you get
If-
told like,
if we
it's not
can-
bad.
yeah, if we can get this information to younger people, I think that would be the strongest
Mhm.
move.
Yeah.
Strongest chess move.
Oh my god.
Ah.
anybody else?
No. Nothing.
I mean, but
Jeez.
the problem with like educating younger people about this is a lot of them aren't like mature enough to understand it. Like they haven't had experience with it yet. So if like don't do drugs, like it's just words until you realize like drugs is more common than you think.
Mhm.
So
I think when you're younger, it's better to use like simple analogies, like don't lie, don't cheat,
yeah.
things like that, where that starts to kind of happen when you're younger. So even though they may not understand it, it's great to start getting into their head, hey, this is gonna make things worse, so you might want to try and work on this yourself.
Exactly.
I see a thought brewing in your
No.
head there, Leeam.
I am. No.
You're just off in space with your eyebrows squinted. You got anything?
No.
Alright.
I'm good. Patrick explained it very well.
I'm sure
Very
I
well.
did.
Okay.
No, but you actually did.
Oh, sweet.
Should we move on to the next
You're so
conversation?
kind.
Alright.
You don't matter.
Sometimes your words
Apparently.
come off as sarcastic, okay? Anyways, there is a price to pay for gaining wisdom. There's also a price to pay for not. How would you explain this to a 5th grader to try and impact their life?
I guess we literally just explained that.
Yeah, it's kind of what Christian and Mikalah just said.
It's like, it's gonna probably suck a little bit for them because they wanted to do this thing and it probably would have benefited them in some way, but it's better for them if they didn't because it's just gonna make things worse in the future. If that makes any sense. It's like if you were to say, okay, you can't have this candy bar or something, well they would think, well I want this candy bar and I'm gonna eat it, but if they don't eat it, it's not fun to not eat it, but it gives them this kind of sense that, okay, this is what I shouldn't do, and it's not going to make things worse in the future.
Well, the problem with that is so, you know how like America has all of these like alcohol problems of people drunk driving and like doing dumb stuff at 3 a.m.
Yep.
Our legal drinking age is 21. You can go up to a bar and order a hard liquor beverage.
Mm-hmm.
In Germany, at 14 years old, you can accompany a parent to a bar and
Yeah.
you can't legally buy hard liquor. You can only buy like a certain alcohol percentage or lower. But and they have like very, very little drunk driving and alcohol problems. I think because of that lower drinking age. And like even like I was every restaurant we went to, I was 12 at the time. Every restaurant we went to, the waiters and waitresses would always offer to mix beer with juice for my 9-year-old sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's
That's true.
they have alcohol is like widely culturally accepted and they have
Mhm.
like very little problems with it. So
True.
I think allowing not necessarily like allowing kids to like take drugs and just like see the problems with that, but to let them know the exact dangers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to explain it a little bit before you just go, hey, don't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, two things real
Help
quick
us.
on this. Yeah. The first one is, have you guys ever seen the movie Courageous?
Yes.
No.
Half the movie Courageous and no. Okay. Don't know. Great. So, we have one yes. Either way, there's a scene in the movie where a father, his daughter's a teenager, and this boy goes to pick her up, and this boy is not a well-intentioned boy, and the dad like pretty much talks sternly to the boy and says, get out of here. And then also to the girl and says, like, that boy's not good for you. Like, do not go near him, pretty much, is the concept. She gets angry and mad and is like, I'm my own woman. And,
Whoa.
Alright.
Exact word.
and,
Epic rebellion there.
yeah, this is oversimplified with Dan.
Alright.
But either way, it's not received well, right?
Yeah.
And so later on, he is growing in his relationship with God, and things are being illuminated for him as a father. And he sits down with his daughter on an intentional date night, and they're dressed to the nines, and she's in like
His
a
daughter?
dress. Yeah. Yeah, so they go on a
It's
date.
just a, like, daddy-daughter date.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that it existed for a second. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So anyways, he goes on this date with her, and he's like talking to her, and he's communicating like how much he cares about her. And that his biggest goal is to protect her heart and provide for her and make sure that the man that does eventually marry her will provide for her and love her the way that she is deserving of. And she breaks down and like is crying and all of this, and he like gives her a promise ring and says like, I will take care of you until the right man comes. Will you trust me with that? And it's so well received, and she's breaking down and crying, and it's like this emotional scene, and I'm like in my seat, and like as a father for the first time I'm able to see it through different eyes, and I'm like, holy crap. Like,
Have I got a job to do?
well, not just that, but like the difference of explaining that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And how like he had the right answer in the beginning, right? This is a gangster boy with cuts on his face with this jacked up car, and he's 16. Something's wrong. No, you can't date him. Get in your room. Fair things to say, right? There's even some wisdom in that. Like, no, this is not wise. But the compassion and the care and the detail he put into communicating that to her the second time was so much differently received. And so you guys talk about, and so you're kind of illuminating that a little bit, Christian, with your concept of like not just saying no to things. And not just it's the psychological concept of the big red button theory, right? Thou shalt not touch the red button, and you're like, I gotta touch it, right? And so like there are those principles, but as a parent, that's the most important part, then, right? And so we talk about all of this, and the most important way for a fifth grader to hear this is from their parent. In a home where they've been brought up in the right way, and there's a relational context, and the parent's able to have that mature conversation and say, because I care about you, and because of the dangers that are in this, and because of the dangers that I've experienced and the heartbreak I've had in my life, I wish to save you from that. And the difference, like the gravity of that situation and how that would be received. And the problem is that we wait too long, and we don't know how to parent, and we don't have parents that are engaged, and we have teenagers that rebel, and we have kids that are on the edge. I pointed to Leeam when I said rebel. It didn't mean anything. But the problem is that systemically we're not following what God has created. We're not continuing in the ways that God has communicated, with the parents communicating that wisdom to their children at young ages and building those foundational blocks to where there is no, like my child's about to turn 2 in a week, and there's no terrible twos, right? That's something you'll hear all the time when you get to the next stage, like, oh yeah, my child's in the terrible twos. Like they just like throw things and hit people, and like they do the toddler version of cussing. Like they're just like they're about to like, if they could grab the cat and throw it against the window, they would. Like, and it's because they're experiencing their sinful nature with them being able to control for the first time. Because before that they're a baby, and the best they can do is throw their head back and hit it and be mad at you and be like, why'd you do that? And you're like, yeah, you're a baby and you're sinful, aren't you? Like you have no reason to throw your head back right now other than you're just mad. So either way, that's a parental thing that's being lacking in the world. The next thing, though, so if you guys were to talk to a fifth grader, is to bring it down to a very practical spot for the fifth grader. Bring it to an instance in your life or a story that you've heard from a friend or from a pastor, and sit down with Caden's a fifth grader I have. Sit down with Caden and say, look, man, I see that you're starting to have these wants and desires. I see that these things are starting to be said to you. And I have experienced the negatives of this. So let me explain to you what I've seen and the friends that I've lost, and the friends that I've seen go down these paths, and how their lives turned out, and how much I don't want that for you. You don't have to listen to me, but I hope that you do. And the difference that fifth grader is going to realize from you communicating that, as opposed to saying, "Dude, quit being an idiot and stop." Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, just don't touch the red button.
Making it
Yeah.
seem like that they're the ones controlling the decision, and not just like you saying, just forbidding any movement towards it. I feel like it helps them make the decision to not to better.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you think about it too. Like, I mean, my wife and I, our concept is that by the time you're 12, like, you are a pre-adult. You now get to make decisions. Hopefully, we've done a good enough job. We've done a good enough job building those foundations with you. And if we haven't, it'll show, because you'll be rebellious, or you'll be all these things, and we'll have to kind of let you slowly find your way in those things. Yeah. We'll move on to the last question.
Last question.
Well,
Oh.
I think I have a thought.
Ooh.
So there's something cool about being given the wisdom and then being confronted with a situation and choosing the right thing. There's something, like, even to a fifth grader being like, hey, I did the right thing because I was told that this is the right thing to do, instead of just, you can't do that for no reason whatsoever. This is why it's a bad thing or a good thing. And then choosing and the knowledge of doing the right thing. Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, next part, it says, read the whole scripture, pick your favorite verse, and explain why it is. Who would like to read the scripture? I can't read it without screwing it up, so...
I can read it, but I'll have to read it again. Because I can't read it and then retain information.
Okay.
Alright.
Verses 2, 10 to 11.
22?
2, and then 10. It's right
11?
there.
Yeah, okay, you keep saying 11.
Oh, sorry.
It's confusing.
22.
Okay.
I
For-
was reading. Sorry. I was reading 1 Peter 2:11. I'm sorry. My bad.
For wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will watch over you. Wait. Discretion.
Discretion. Well.
Okay.
It's funny
Discretion will watch over you. Understanding will guard you, delivering you from the way of evil, from men of perverted speech, who forsake the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice in doing evil and delight in the perverseness of evil. I can read a promise. Men whose paths are crooked and who are devious in their ways. So you will be delivered from the forbidden woman, from the adulteress with her smooth words, who forsakes the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house sinks down to death, and her paths to the departed. No one who go to her come back, nor do they regain the path of life. So you will walk in the way of the good and keep to the paths of the righteous, for the upright will inhabit the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the treacherous will be rooted out of it.
Deep breath.
Chest.
I couldn't have done much better, so.
It was all going well until discretion.
The second verse.
The second verse.
It was all going well.
That first
until
verse
the
went
second verse.
real good.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good. We're all right there mentally.
I think personally my favorite verses would be 10 and 11. I think well, half of 11 because this
11A.
yes, 11A. 10 and 11, for wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will watch over you, understanding will guide you. 10, 11, and 12. Delivering you from the way of evil, from men of perverted speech. I think because this is kind of a different topic, the second part of 12. 10, 11, and the first part of 12 is it's kind of like a promise, but because wisdom, it says, will come into your heart, knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. It's telling you what wisdom will do for you, why you should gain wisdom. Discretion will watch over you, understanding will guide you, delivering you from the way of evil.
I think my favorite is also 10, because I like the idea that knowing, again, I really like the knowing the right thing and knowing that you did the right thing because you were taught correctly. And I think it's just, I like the idea of pleasant to your soul because I want to feel good about the wisdom that I have and the knowledge that I have.
Yeah, I'm probably in the same boat. It's good for me. I really enjoy having wisdom so I don't spiral down a slippery slope that I can't control, and I can just like stop it before it happens. So having the wisdom to protect me and not have that happen is really great. And yeah.
Cool.
I got confuzzled because Dan left and there was stuff happening.
Nothing's happening.
I think my favorite verses are 20 and 21, where it says, you will walk in the way of the good and keep to the paths of the righteous, for the upright will inhabit the land, and those with integrity will remain in it. For me, it's like letting you know it's not going to be easy, but as long as you can power through it, you will receive many good things from it.
Yeah?
What are you doing there? You're breaking things. Oh, that's gonna be terrible on the audio.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just like it's letting you know like your hard work is gonna pay off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right.
So it's outro time. Hit us up, Mikalah. Give us a good.
So much for listening.
Like, subscribe, comment, post
my
notifications.
That's the fun stuff that
Follow
doesn't
our
matter.
social medias. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.